Welcome back for part 2 of my book haul. This is a continuation of a must-read books for homeschooling moms, for moms. I started this video a couple weeks back and had some technical difficulties, so this is part 2. This is the rest of the book stack that I want to share with you. I share more about why these books are not specifically homeschool related. Yes, I'm a homeschool mom. Yes, I'm saying these are must read for other homeschool moms, but my journey has looked very different, as yours probably does as well. And everybody's, our journeys are totally different. And there are pieces of our puzzle that God is putting together, right, as He's writing our story. So for me, if you want to hear more about that backstory, go back to that first video. I'll link it down below. I'm sharing the first half of those books. And in that video, I'm also talking more about the homeschool specific books. This video is part 2 in the must-read books that have changed me. These books literally God has used in my life to change me in some way, shape, or form. So if you are a book mom, if you love to read, let's just dive right into the first book. This is my second time going through this book because I recently discovered that I am needing to get back into this. I've been lacking in really specific, strategic, devoted prayer, forgetting really the power of prayer and really leaning into that more than I have been. So when going through my book stacks, I came across Fervent. This is one that I've gone through already and I'm going through it a second time. It is incredibly powerful and speaks magnitudes and volume to me through the power of prayer and strategic prayer, even though I've read through it once already. I'm going in again with this book. If you have not read it, definitely highly recommend reading this book. All about the enemy and what he wants to do and how he attacks us. And this book is a must read for sure. Along with Priscilla Shirer, you will see I love her. I love her dad, Tony Evans. Listen to his 20-minute devotions, his sermons on his app, the Tony Evans app. And I love what he shares. I love the way he preaches. I love the way he makes it make sense to me. Don't get lost in what he's saying. It's very applicable and I understand and I get it. And that's not always an easy thing to find. I find an author or a preacher that really just speaks to me. That's where I go and I stay right there. And it's been Tony Evans solid and Priscilla Shirer solid for probably 3 years, maybe 4 years. Keeping along with Priscilla, I have Discerning the Voice of God. This is a Bible study, how to recognize when God speaks. So it's definitely not just a sit and read type of thing. It is a Bible study. And as you know, I mark up everything. I highlight everything. I leave notes everywhere. I loved this so much because exactly the title, Discerning the Voice of God. There are so many voices in our heads, in our minds, in the world. Bible study was beautiful. Now let's get back to the books. I am a mom of boys, okay? This book was recommended to me by Megan over at Pennies and Salt, I believe, or she had mentioned it somehow or another. Her name is ringing a bell with this book. Boyhood and Beyond by Bob Schultz, Practical Wisdom for Becoming a Man. This is one I read with my boys a couple years ago. I've had it that long, and we just read it as a read aloud in the morning. So when we were doing morning basket in our homeschool or morning time, this was the book that I would go through one chapter a day with my boys as we sat in the living room before we started our unit studies. This was one I love. We already have gone through it and I'm going to, obviously I pulled it out to share because it is an incredible book to read with your boys. I could even give it to my oldest and have him read it alone, but I love the conversations and things that come from reading these books together. So I'm pulling this one out to put it in our basket to go through it for a second time now that my boys are older. Like again, this was 2 or 3 years ago, if not more, that we read through this. My boys are very quickly entering the man stage, and we're going to go through that again. Jesus is greater than religion. This one, guys, you're going to hear this. This is a hard thing for me to do because I'm obviously sharing them. So, you know, I love every single one of them. And for all really the same reasons. Relationship with Jesus is greater than religion. Why he is so much better than trying harder, doing more, and being good enough. This book is incredible, incredible, incredible. Jesus, relationship with Jesus. Relationship is greater than religion. Cultivating and nurturing and growing that relationship It's an incredible book. I've also read this one front to back, and I think I should probably do a refresher. That's what happens with me. I find books that I love that impact me so deeply, that change me and impact me in such a significant way that I want to go through and read them again because they were that incredible the first time. And if so much happened the first time reading it, what will it be like again? Just like when we sit and read the Bible, right? We can read a verse or we can read a chapter of the Bible, and one thing might stick out to us at that point in time, right? Because his word is alive and active. So that might, one section might apply to our life at a specific time. And then you can read that chapter a week, a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years later, even a day, and something totally different will stick out to you. That's what's happening to me with these books also in different seasons that I might be going through in motherhood and homeschooling, parenting. That's this focus. So these are not homeschooling specific. Like I said, if you want to know why that is, go back and watch the first video. I go into more detail with that and a little of that backstory in the first video, part 1 of the books that changed me. Again, I'll link it below. These books have impacted every area of my life, not just categorically like homeschooling, right? It's not broken into categories. It covers everything. It covers everything that I'm doing, me as a woman, as a daughter of a king, as a whole, a wife, a mom, a homeschooling mom, a working mom. It covers everything that I do. And that's why these books are so and have been so impactful to me in my life. The next one is Rhythms of Renewal. If you followed me back in the Instagram days, okay guys, I'm not currently active on Instagram. I haven't been for like 8 months, and I will share that. I keep saying that and I haven't because I'm trying to find the right words and really just allow all the changes to soak in and for me to marinate in those changes and really see that. Rhythms of Renewal I talked about all the time on Instagram because it's that stinking incredible. I talk about taking inventory in your home, inventory in your homeschool, inventory in your life, pruning. Are there things that need to be pruned? Are there things you need to let go of? Are there things that might be good? Okay, this is a season I'm in. I've got some things that I have agreed to that are good things. But are they the best things that I should be doing right now in this moment? Are they the best use of my time and the best use of my energy and the best use of this gift of motherhood and time that I've been given? And honestly, homeschooling, like being able to be here, if I'm filling all my time with all these other things that are taking me away from me being here, those things need to be pruned and cut back. And I'm working on that. But Rhythms of Renewal, this book right here is incredible. Legit, one of my top 3 all-time favorite books that really, really, really helped me step outside and look at my life through a different perspective and truly evaluate everything. This book, Rhythms of Renewal, it's exactly what it sounds like. Rest, Sabbath, quieting all the noise. I talk about quieting noise all the time. Like, I feel like I'm just repeating everything because these books are all kind of the same. This book, absolutely life-changing. I've got just a couple more here, okay? So bear with me. This book I want to talk about is called Anonymous. This is by Alicia Britt Chole, Jesus' Hidden Years and Yours. If you feel like you are a seed that has been planted in soil and you are waiting, you're in a season of waiting, this book, get it, read it. I came across this when I was watching randomly. I was cooking dinner and I pulled up YouTube to find something inspirational to listen to. And I came across something from Sadie Robertson, and she was actually interviewing this author. So I listened to this interview for whatever reason. It was just there. So I listened as I'm cooking dinner, and listening to this author speak and what she was going through spoke volumes to me, and really in terms of the whole Instagram side of things and Jesus's hidden years that we don't hear much about, right? As you read through the Bible, there are times in Jesus' life that we don't really know a whole lot about what was happening in those hidden years that led him to who he was during his public ministry. Guess what? We have hidden years too. in our life that nobody sees, that lead us to where we are present, whatever that might look like for you. There are years that seem hidden. There are years of waiting. There are years of wondering. Recognize the riches in the uncelebrated seasons of your life, because that is the ticket. That's where it's at. What are you doing in those uncelebrated seasons of life that are going to carry you through to that season of blossoming and blooming? What are you doing in those uncelebrated seasons? That's where it's at. The uncelebrated, unnoticed seasons of waiting, of quietness, of stillness, of rest that will propel you and carry you when your potential is unseen and your abilities are unappreciated. When you're living in the gap between your dreams and life's realities. You're in what author Alicia Britt Chole calls an anonymous season of the soul. These unsettling spaces are actually the surprising birthplace of true spiritual strength. They offer us the opportunity to develop an unshakable identity, to discipline our thought life, and to rest in God's timing, just like they did for Jesus. Most of his 30 years went unnoticed by the world, but that season of quiet prepared him for true greatness and made him unshakable when his time had come. Using Jesus' hidden years as an inspiration, this gifted writer memorably demonstrates how to resist resentment, experience deep growth, and repurpose your own hidden years. Resolutely live out God's dreams for you with integrity and confidence. This book is incredible. Definitely recommend it. Very thought-provoking for sure. You Are Free by Rebecca Lyons. This book is incredible. Read it with rhythms of renewal. Trust me. They're great. They're great. This author speaks to me in so many ways that I really we are probably pretty much the same person. That's how I feel about her. What I want to share with you is Sally Clarkson, Life-Giving Table. You've probably heard of Sally Clarkson. You probably know this one is coming. Nurturing Faith Through Feasting, One Meal at a Time. Highly recommend this book. Let's sit down. Let's have more dinners with our family. Let's sit and eat and talk and fellowship over food with our family, with our kids, with our husbands. So important. Such a beautiful time. This book will encourage you in that and the importance of that. That is what I have for you in today's video. Thank you so much for coming along for part 2 of the books that have changed me, that have changed my life. Let me know if you've read any of these. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Jamie. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in our next one. Bye.